I have some additional thoughts about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the coup underway there with Trump's budget director, Mick Mulvaney. Short version, Mulvaney's in, bankers win, Trump screws Americans again. Slightly longer version, look, as Alexis Goldstein pointed out, this is just a temporary setback. What Trump has done certainly appears illegal, but as of now, it looks like Mulvaney has the legal authority. Now, Mulvaney is the political extremist, the Tea Party congressman who once said that the CFPB was extremely frightening. He called it a joke in a sick sort of way. He said he would like to get rid of it, and he's now the acting director of it. Now, he didn't wait for the judge to rule before showing up at work Monday morning. He just walked in with a bag full of donuts, making it look like he was the nice boss, coming in with donuts for the staff, put them out, and then he quickly... and by the way, about those donuts, I think the condemned were being served their last meal. But so the first thing I did when Monday morning, maybe 10 o'clock or so, was I went to see what the website of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said, who was in charge. There it was, Mick Mulvaney, acting. He didn't wait for the judge. He just walked in with his donuts and became acting director. Now, I hope that the sugar high was some comfort to the employees there, because Mulvaney's first act, as we mentioned with Alexis in our last segment, was to freeze all hiring, all returning of money to people who had been shafted by the banks, suspend all making of new rules. I mean, it was absolutely outrageous. Now, Trump immediately tweeted that financial institutions have been devastated and unable to properly serve the public. Of course, they have not been devastated. I went over the statistics of how well big banks are doing since the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau came into being. So we know that's not true. What about Mick Mulvaney? Who is Mick Mulvaney? Well, you know, he took the lead as budget director in blocking an ethics investigation by the government's independent ethics watchdog. He was the one who took the lead in refusing to cooperate. That move was called by a Bush administration official, quote, unprecedented and extremely troubling. That's who Mick Mulvaney is. And, you know, through the Obama years, when a Democrat was president, Mulvaney kept insisting he was a hardliner for keeping government deficits down. He was proud to be leader of something in Congress that they called the shutdown Congress, because if anybody dared to add a penny to the deficit, they threatened to shut down the government every time. Mick Mulvaney supposedly was so hardline on the deficit that, you know what he did? He nearly derailed relief for Hurricane Sandy victims, because he stuck an amendment in there that would have blocked any expenditures that weren't offset by spending cuts elsewhere. Of all people, Chris Christie, not exactly a paragon of virtue himself, had to step in and raise hell about it, and that's how that was prevented. So what does this deficit hawk do? As soon as he becomes Donald Trump's budget director, he starts pushing for a package of tax cuts to corporations and the ultra-wealthy that will explode the deficit by $1.5 trillion. Now, that's a pretty convenient conversion, but I don't think we can count on any conversions when it comes to the CFPB. He hated it then, and he hates it now. Now, I'm not one who believes that the deficit should be our primary concern right now. Far from it. But there are a lot better uses of $1.5 trillion than more money to the wealthy who will just stick it in their bank accounts. Now, he was one of the Republicans, Mulvaney, along with Senator Richard Shelby, who wanted the CFPB to be forced to, quote unquote, determine the economic impacts of their proposed rulemaking, including their effects on growth and net job creation. Well, you know what was really bad for growth and job creation? The unregulated banks who ruined the economy in 2008, costing 8 million lost jobs and somewhere between $50,000 and $120,000 in lost wealth to the average American household. Now, that's the kind of world we're about to head straight back to, a world where the banks are unregulated, prey on the American people, endanger the global economy, and cost millions of jobs. But at least we know Mick Mulvaney will bring the donuts.